dark streets, empty storefronts, and neighbors packing up for good. Why are so many Americans fleeing certain states? You'd think booming cities and scenic landscapes would keep people rooted, but the reality is shocking. Sky-high taxes, crumbling infrastructure, and soaring crime rates are driving people out in record numbers. Some states that once symbolized prosperity are now struggling to survive. Businesses are closing, homes sit abandoned, and entire communities are vanishing. Could your state be next? Stick around as we reveal the 10 fastest collapsing states in America and why residents are running for the exits before it's too late. Number 10, California. A place of sunshine, movie stars, and endless opportunities until reality hits. California is seeing a mass exodus like never before. You'd think the Golden State would be untouchable, but guess what? In just 1 year, over 342,000 people packed up and left. Why? Insane living costs, sky-high taxes, and a housing market that feels impossible. The average home price? Over $800,000. Rent? Forget about it. $3,000 a month is considered cheap. And if you thought it was just about money, think again. Major cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles are grappling with rising homelessness and crime. The once thriving tech industry? Even billion-dollar companies are moving out, taking jobs with them. Could California be on the verge of a major collapse, or is it already happening before our eyes? Number 9, New York. Skyscrapers, flashing lights, and the city that never sleeps. Sounds like a dream, right? But New York is turning into a nightmare for thousands. More than 500,000 people have fled in the past few years, making it the most abandoned state in America. And once you hear why, you might understand. The cost of living is brutal, but that's just the beginning. Crime is skyrocketing, businesses are closing, and even Wall Street giants are leaving for better opportunities. The subway? Some stations look straight out of a dystopian movie. And let's not forget those crushing state and city taxes, which are among the highest in the nation. Could it be that the empire is finally crumbling? Before we move forward, make sure to subscribe so we can keep bringing you the real, unfiltered truth. We dig deep to show you what's really happening across America, and trust me, what's next will leave you speechless. If you thought the last two were shocking, just wait, because the next state might be in even deeper trouble. When people think of collapse, they picture empty factories and ghost towns. But what if we told you this state's biggest problem isn't just people leaving, it's the billions in debt dragging it down? Stay tuned, because Illinois might just be the ticking time bomb no one is talking about. Number 8. Illinois. What happened to the state once known for its industrial strength, bustling cities, and deep-rooted history, now drowning in debt and decay? Illinois is collapsing faster than anyone expected, and the numbers don't lie. Over 122,000 residents packed up and left in a single year, making it one of the most rapidly shrinking states in America. But guess what? That's just scratching the surface. What if we told you Illinois is buried under $140 billion in pension debt? A financial disaster that's only getting worse. Cities like Chicago, the so-called Windy City, are losing thousands of residents. Not just to better job opportunities, but for basic survival. Crime rates have surged, businesses are shutting down, and property taxes, some of the highest in the nation. Imagine working your whole life to afford a home, only to see your taxes skyrocket while services decline. And if you thought crime was just a big city problem, think again. Carjackings, retail theft, and violent crime have made daily life unpredictable. Even the famous Magnificent Mile, once a symbol of wealth and tourism, has seen massive store closures. Big brands simply can't afford to stay open. It's no wonder that Illinoisans are running for the exits, choosing states with lower taxes and safer streets. But here's the real kicker. While residents flee, the government keeps raising taxes to make up for lost revenue. It's a never-ending cycle that's pushing the state closer to economic ruin. Could Illinois be past the point of saving? Or is there still hope for a turnaround? Number 7. Oregon. How did a state once admired for its natural beauty, outdoor lifestyle, and progressive cities end up in a crisis that's driving people away faster than ever? Oregon is no longer the paradise many thought it was, and the reasons might shock you. First, let's talk numbers. Over 50,000 people left in a single year, the first time in decades that Oregon's population has declined. And once you see why, you might wonder how anyone is still staying. Portland, once a trendy hotspot for young professionals and artists, is now struggling with skyrocketing homelessness, open drug use, and some of the worst crime spikes in the nation. Major retailers like Walmart and Nike, they're closing stores because theft is out of control. But crime isn't the only problem. Oregon's housing crisis is at an all-time high, with home prices far beyond what most people can afford. Want to buy a house? Be prepared to shell out over $500,000 for something decent. And if you're renting, good luck. Rents are among the highest in the country. And then there's the issue of extreme policies. While some states are attracting businesses and residents with lower taxes, Oregon keeps pushing higher costs and controversial laws that many feel aren't solving problems. They're making them worse. It's no surprise that thousands are packing up for states with better job markets, safer streets, and a lower cost of living. Before we move forward, take a second to subscribe, because we're bringing you the real, unfiltered truth about what's happening across America. If you think these states are bad, just wait until you hear what's next. If you thought Oregon had it rough, just wait. Imagine a state with stunning landscapes, booming tech companies, and a reputation for innovation, yet people are leaving in droves. Crime is rising, housing is unattainable, and businesses are making a quiet but steady exit. But the most shocking part? This state's biggest problem isn't just its cities, it's the way it's being run. Stick around, because Washington's decline is a story you need to hear. Number 6, Washington. A state with billion-dollar companies, breathtaking landscapes, and a reputation for innovation, yet people are leaving faster than ever. Washington is facing a shocking decline, and the reasons are piling up. Over 35,000 residents packed up and left last year, and if you think it's just about high costs, think again. Seattle, once a symbol of tech-fueled prosperity, is struggling with crime, homelessness, and out-of-control drug use. The city that gave us Amazon and Microsoft is now making headlines for businesses shutting their doors. And here's the real shocker. Major retailers like Target and Starbucks are closing locations due to safety concerns. Imagine going to work, only to find that entire blocks are filled with abandoned storefronts. But crime isn't the only thing driving people away. Washington's housing market is brutal. The average home price is over $600,000, and in Seattle, you'll be lucky to find anything under $1 million. Rents have skyrocketed, leaving even tech workers struggling to afford a place to live. And if you thought buying was the solution, think again. Washington has some of the highest property taxes in the region. And let's not forget the state's extreme tax policies. While states like Texas and Florida attract businesses with zero income tax, Washington is doing the opposite, introducing new taxes on capital gains, payroll, and even fuel. It's no wonder that companies are expanding outside of Washington, taking thousands of jobs with them. So here's the big question. If one of America's wealthiest states is seeing a mass exodus, what does that say about its future? Could Washington be on the edge of a major collapse? Number 5, New Jersey. A place with beautiful shorelines, vibrant cities, and deep historical roots. So why are people fleeing faster than ever? New Jersey is facing a full-scale crisis, and if you're not paying attention, you might miss just how bad it's getting. Over 60,000 residents left in a single year, and when you hear why, you won't blame them. Let's start with the biggest issue: insane taxes. New Jersey has the highest property taxes in America, with homeowners paying an average of $9,500 per year. And it's not just property taxes. Income taxes, sales taxes, and business taxes are all through the roof. If you work hard to own a home, the state makes sure you pay a fortune just to keep it. And then there's the crime. Newark, Camden, and Trenton are consistently ranked among the most dangerous cities in the country. Carjackings, violent crime, and gang activity have left many residents feeling unsafe in their own neighborhoods. Imagine working late, only to wonder if your car will still be there when you get back. But guess what? Businesses are leaving too. Major corporations are packing up, taking jobs and economic opportunities with them. Even New York commuters, once the lifeblood of New Jersey's economy, are moving to states with lower costs and better quality of life. New Jersey might have some of the best beaches and a prime location, but if the state keeps squeezing its residents dry, how much longer will people stay? Before we move forward, take a second to subscribe because we're bringing you the real, unfiltered truth about what's happening across America. The next state on this list? It's facing problems so severe that even longtime residents are desperate to leave. You might think that warm weather, delicious food, and rich culture would keep people around, but what if we told you this state is facing some of the worst economic and crime rates in the country? Entire cities are falling apart, and the government seems powerless to stop it. If you thought the last few states were bad, just wait, because Louisiana's problems are on another level. Number 4, Louisiana. A place known for its legendary food, jazz music, and deep Southern culture, yet residents are leaving in droves. Louisiana is in crisis, and if you think it's just about hurricanes, think again. In the last year alone, over 60,000 people packed up and left. And when you hear why, you won't blame them. Let's start with crime, because Louisiana isn't just struggling, it's breaking records. New Orleans has one of the highest murder rates in the country, with violent crime surging so badly that even locals are scared to go outside at night. Baton Rouge and Shreveport aren't far behind. Imagine living in a city where police response times are slow and criminals roam free because the justice system is overwhelmed. It's happening right now. And then there's the economy, or what's left of it. Louisiana ranks 48th in the nation for economic growth, and good jobs are harder to find than ever. The oil and gas industry, once the backbone of the state, is shrinking fast, leaving thousands unemployed. Meanwhile, new businesses don't want to set up shop here, thanks to high taxes and a struggling workforce. Want to start a business? You'll face more red tape and regulations than almost anywhere else in the South. And let's talk about the cost of simply living here. You'd think Louisiana would be affordable, right? Think again. Insurance rates are through the roof, some of the highest in the country, because natural disasters keep wiping out homes. Hurricane Katrina was just the beginning, and every year, storms make life harder. Homeowners are watching their insurance premiums double, and many can't afford to stay. So here's the big question. If crime is out of control, jobs are disappearing, and even basic living costs are unbearable, how much longer can Louisiana hold on? Number 3, Hawaii. Paradise? Not anymore. Hawaii is supposed to be a dream destination, but guess what? More people are leaving than ever before. For the first time in modern history, Hawaii's population is actually shrinking. And when you hear why, you'll be shocked. Let's talk about the insane cost of living. Hawaii is the most expensive state in the US, and it's not even close. The average home price is over $800,000, and in some areas it's over $1 million. And rent? A basic one-bedroom apartment can cost $2,500 a month, more than double the national average. Even groceries will drain your wallet. $10 for a gallon of milk? Anyone? And jobs? Unless you work in tourism or government, good luck. Hawaii is completely dependent on tourism, which means when the economy dips, people lose everything. And with skyrocketing taxes, it's nearly impossible to save money. Families who have lived here for generations are being forced out. Then there's the isolation. It might sound peaceful, but imagine needing medical treatment or an emergency flight, costing hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The reality is, Hawaii is beautiful, but for many, it's just not livable anymore. Before we move forward, make sure to subscribe, because we're breaking down the truth about states that are collapsing faster than anyone realizes. And next up, this state's decline is happening right under America's nose, but nobody's talking about it. Number 2. Pennsylvania. A state that once powered America's industrial revolution is now struggling to keep its own lights on. Pennsylvania is in trouble, and if you think it's just because of a changing economy, you're only scratching the surface. Over 100,000 people left in the past few years, and when you hear the reasons, you might wonder why more haven't followed. Let's start with something shocking. Pennsylvania has one of the worst tax burdens in the country. Between high property taxes, state income taxes, and endless hidden fees, working-class families are getting squeezed from every direction. Owning a home? That's becoming a luxury few can afford, with sky-high real estate taxes that make it nearly impossible to build wealth. And if you thought renting was an escape, guess what? The cost of rent is skyrocketing in cities like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, leaving fewer affordable options. And speaking of Philadelphia, let's talk crime. Philly has one of the highest violent crime rates in America. Carjackings, armed robberies, and homicides have skyrocketed, and residents are getting fed up. Imagine living in a place where walking to your car at night feels like a gamble. Police forces are overwhelmed, and businesses are closing because they can't protect their stores. Even major retailers are pulling out, because why stay in a place where shoplifters don't even get arrested? Then there's the job market. Pennsylvania was once a powerhouse of industry, but now, the steel mills and coal mines that built this state are disappearing, and they're not coming back. While Pittsburgh has reinvented itself with tech and healthcare jobs, the rest of the state hasn't been so lucky. Many small towns are turning into ghost towns with few opportunities and even fewer young people staying behind. And if you think Pennsylvania is at least a good place to retire, think again. The state ranks as one of the worst places for retirees, thanks to high taxes, rising healthcare costs, and an aging infrastructure. Even Florida is stealing Pennsylvania's retirees. So here's the question. If crime is rising, taxes are crushing, and jobs are vanishing, what's left? That's the harsh reality Pennsylvania is facing, and the worst part, it's only getting worse. Number 1, Michigan. This state was once the beating heart of American manufacturing. Now, Michigan is losing people faster than it can replace them. In just the last few years, over 150,000 residents packed up and left, and the numbers aren't slowing down. First, let's talk about Detroit. Once a booming auto empire, it's now one of the most abandoned cities in America. Entire neighborhoods have been left to rot, with over 70,000 empty buildings sitting as haunting reminders of the past. Crime has taken over, and while city officials claim things are improving, the numbers tell a different story. Car thefts, home invasions, and violent crimes are pushing more people to flee the city for good. And it's not just Detroit. Flint, Saginaw, and other cities are in serious decline. Jobs vanishing, businesses closing. And let's not forget the water crisis that put Flint on the map for all the wrong reasons. Residents still don't trust their own drinking water, and the damage has already been done. Even in areas outside of these cities, Michigan's economy is struggling. The auto industry, the one thing that kept Michigan strong, is facing major layoffs and instability. Electric vehicles are shaking up the market, and thousands of manufacturing jobs are disappearing overnight. Small towns that once relied on auto plants are hollowing out, and there's no real plan to replace them. Then there's the brutal winters. Michigan is one of the coldest and snowiest states, and if you think that's not a big deal, try dealing with months of icy roads, freezing temperatures, and skyrocketing heating bills. When staying warm costs you thousands every winter, it's no wonder people are looking for warmer, cheaper places to live. And here's the final blow. Michigan has one of the worst population declines in the country. The people leaving aren't just retirees. They're young professionals, families, and anyone who wants a better shot at life. Michigan used to be a land of opportunity. Now, it's a place people can't escape fast enough. So, there you have it, the fastest collapsing states in America. Some of these places were once thriving, but now, crime, high costs, job losses, and even the weather are driving people away faster than ever. Do you live in one of these states? Are you seeing these problems firsthand? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video so more people can see the truth about what's happening. We've got more eye-opening content coming soon, so stick around. You won't want to miss what's next.